So good evening, guys and gals, whoever is in the chat already. Thanks for joining the season finale. This is officially the last episode for season one of the CarrGuy SixFan show. For those of you just tuning in, my name is Jason, and I am Old Car Auto Guy, and my co-host is Grant Tommy, who is on the other side of the camera. Grant, introduce yourself.
Yes, Grant Tommy, and I am the co-host of this operation. SixFan, or Straight SixFan, is my channel name. And welcome, everybody. We know we had a couple already waiting for us to get kicked off. So Boosted Rodeo, Eford Garage, 410 Auto Tech. Welcome to the show. Craving Cars, America Bumper to Bumper. Welcome, everybody.
And we've got Winnipeg Car Life all the way from Manitoba. Who has jumped in here. Hopefully he is sitting comfortable and ready to take in the season finale of this wonderful, great program that Grant and I have put together for you guys. And it seems to be a huge success. In fact, we've already had people tell us that they are not knowing what they're going to do on their Thursday evenings when this time slot kind of opens up. So it's not going to be forever, guys. It's going to be maybe 6 weeks or so until we get back. We're thinking maybe sometime in the beginning of July we'll jump back in with an even better season 2 of the CarrGuy SixFan show. So Rust Belt Mechanic has jumped in there as well. Thanks for watching. Game Watcher is new. I think that's a new name. Mike N is a local fella here in St. Stephen, has jumped in there. Craving Cars again, guys. This is going to be a great show, and I hope that we have lots of time and a lot of chance to talk about some different stuff. And you're going to want to stick around to the very end because we've got a very special shout out at the end of the show. So we're going to start things off with our Grant. Where do we want to start off? We're jumping all around here.
Yeah, we usually do a little automotive news or just automotive talk, and I think I tend to kind of enjoy the just talk cars for a while, maybe not necessarily Detroit news or anything. And so the way I kind of spun I thought tonight's topic would be if you could take any motor out there, and that might already be great as it is, but you thought you could sprinkle on your own personal pixie dust to make it one step better, what would you do? And so you'll probably wind up by episodes in noticing a theme out of me starting off here, but I have fallen in love with the 2.3 liter Ford EcoBoost motor, and that'll make more sense here as time goes on. But, you know, as popular as the 2JZ has been in the history of all motors, I wish Ford would take that same 2.3 liter EcoBoost and just add, as you might guess, 2 more cylinders and make it a straight 6, a small displacement like 3 liter turbocharged inline 6. And I just think that would be an incredible motor because it's already turbocharged. It just basically, if Ford made the modern day 2JZ, I think that would be a beast of a motor. Jason, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, and when I read what you had written down there, I was thinking, that's a pretty good idea. And then when you had also mentioned, the 3 liter i6, and it almost brings back the concept of the original 306 that Ford came out within their pickup trucks. And I think that there's an opportunity there, for a really great motor if somebody really wanted to take that technology and kind of move it forward into the modern age with, direct injection, turbo or supercharged or something like that. And one of the engines that I had in mind was an engine that is generally something left behind in the GM garage, is the 4.3 liter V6. And for those of you who don't know about that engine, it's basically a 350 less 2 cylinders, same stroke, same bore, but not as many performance parts available in the aftermarket for that, such as aluminum heads or intakes and stuff like that. So I've often thought that the 4.3 liter V6 could have been such a rowdy motor in some of your smaller vehicles that you could have been able to pull quite a bit of power out of. So I think there's an awful lot of improvement that could have been had on those 4.3s. They have proven to be such a long-lasting and durable motor because they are still using them in today's trucks. So I'm just reading through the chat a little bit there and seeing what some of these other guys are talking about. And Winnipeg CarrGuy says, wouldn't that just be an inline version of the EcoBoost in the F-150? Kinda, I think so. But I don't know what your thoughts are on that, Grant, about the.
Yeah, I mean, I disagree maybe just a little bit. V-style motors have always been more, have the propensity to rev higher than inline motors. But that's all dependent, of course, on stroke. The longer the stroke, the more torque typically, because it's the motion of that piston going straight down versus the V. And the 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6 is a twin turbo motor. So yeah, I mean, I guess you could say it's somewhat the same, but when you compare V block to inline block, I feel like it's always apples to oranges.
Yeah, and with a inline six style block, I mean, you take a look at even the big ones, like the Cummins. There's so much more room on either side of that engine to start putting more turbos or whatever you want. So that you take a V blocks, and they just take up so much room in an engine bay.
Yeah. So I mean, again, that was just my wild idea. Now Ford does make an inline six turbocharged motor, like in Australia, the Barra motor or something. They have a 4-liter dual overhead cam inline six. That's pretty wicked over there. So it does exist, but I think the idea too of a small displacement inline six, for those of you unfamiliar with how you come up with displacement, it is literally just a math formula of its volume basically. So it's area of your piston times the stroke length of that it travels in the combustion chamber, and so multiplied by however many cylinders you have. So
over my head, just tell me the numbers, man. So sorry, I didn't mean to assault you there.
Yeah, I'm sure you didn't mean. Already getting chippy for some reason.
Maybe it's the moose head. I see Junk from work has jumped in here. S&R Motoring guys, welcome to the channel. We're talking engines here, and I noticed that Rust Belt Mechanic had brought something up about the 3.6 Pentastars, and he says they're pretty well rounded. Now, I was under the impression that they did have some valve issues. Maybe you can correct me on that. But yes, when they first come out with that, it was such a great platform that why have 2 or 3 or 4 different V6s in the whole lineup when you can create one that fits in everything? That was one good idea that I thought that Chrysler had when they developed this 3.6. I'm not sure who developed it actually, but I'm not. Do they still have the valve seat issue with those engines? Maybe you can tell me in the chat there a little bit. But
and while we're waiting for Kyle's answer on that, I think now's just as good a time as any, because Kyle's involved in this special announcement we wanted to lob out there on the live stream. Was a channel, Spider Garage, his latest upload. If you haven't seen it, he and his son have been building basically a Monza Spider clone. And the way they bought the car was basically someone had tried a frame off restoration but failed, and so they sold it in boxes on boxes on boxes of parts. They want to get it done for the Hot Rod Power Tour, but he's realizing the calendar is getting shorter and shorter. So he sent out in his last episode a call to arms. Anybody who lives near Central Indiana, he's basically given an open invitation to people in our niche to go give him a hand, to help him, come on down the finish line. So if you are in the Ohio, Indiana, maybe even Northern Kentucky area, think about if you could go lend a hand to Spider Garage. I know Kyle gave a shout out recently on his channel as well. So just wanted to slide that in. But anyway, Jason, hopefully you saw Kyle's answer to your question.
Yeah, I did, and back to Spider Garage for a moment. When I first started joining, when I first joined their channel, they were doing the roof swap on that thing, and I thought that was a pretty cool idea. And they had some guys come from some friends came in from different states, drove several hours to be there and surprise his young fella to put that new roof on. And that's the car community for you, guys who will go out of their way to help one another, and don't expect a dime in return. Feed them some food and some munchies, some beer, and you can get a lot of work out of some guys who are dedicated and good friends to help pull together a project like that.
Yeah, just don't load them up with Labatt Blue or anything.
Yeah, I had nothing for Labatt Blue. I'm sorry. I'm a Moosehead drinker, so I don't know.
Again, we have themes tonight, guys, but we'll. So anyway, the Pinstar. Sorry, I'm not the Mopar guy. Did we want to?
Pentastar.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Pentastar. That's a Canadian name. Just saying.
Mothership. Star Wars. That sounds like a geeky Star Wars reference.
Only if you're from Kansas. So anyways, let's move on with the show here. We can talk about some of our channel updates. And this week I did manage to get the new gaskets, the Percy's Seal Forever gaskets. I don't know if you guys have heard of those before. That is what I used on those, and I got the new bolts put on. And as soon as I started up, some of you guys were here for the live feed on Tuesday, but I did cut it off early. I was getting frustrated, and so I just said, well, I'm going to end the stream. I'll finish it up, and I did take some video, so that video will be coming out soon. So yeah, it does sound really, really good, and it works so much better now, not having to listen to that tick coming from up front. So that is something that I've got fixed as well. And to kind of tie into one of Grant's updates is I will be doing a distance to empty challenge on the old Cordoba. Grant, what do you got for some updates?
Yeah, so nice little setup there. Coming out probably tomorrow is I ripped a page out of the old Car Auto Guy playbook, and we are doing a distance to empty challenge on Project Low Fairmont because, well, the fuel gauge never worked on that thing. So I basically bought the thing, I'm pretty sure with a full tank of gas because I stopped right away at a gas station after I bought it, tried to put gas in it, and it kept shutting off. So we have a distance empty challenge coming up. I did want to throw in a Tube 66 reminder. If you guys don't know what that is, it's a summer get together I'm putting together for automotive niche channels like us here in the Midwest. Just a chance to get together, hang out, do some Americana kind of road trip stuff. Just 2-day quick kind of hot rod power tour thing. 2 more weeks, less than 2 weeks, to have your input on what we're going to do on day 2. And then finally, the other thing I wanted to unveil is we did finally buy a new car, and hopefully I don't butcher this screen share here in a second, but just this is a little peek under the covers for you guys. But my wife and I just bought a 2015 Ford Mustang 2.3 liter EcoBoost, so that probably explains one of the themes tonight that we will be talking about off and on here as the episode goes on. But yeah, that basically does it for my channel update. I did want to just want to remind you guys, since we are going to be taking a break, part of the reason Jason and I are taking a break, not just because of our busy schedules, but it's kind of time to do some reflection and kind of strategically plan how we get bigger and better for season 2.
Yeah, and part of that is that we're going to be we're talking about introducing some special guests into the lineup. It might not be something that we do for every episode, but it is something that we want to kind of work in to get some other views of what the automotive YouTube industry seems to be doing, and maybe some other aspects of how we can help grow our channels further. And again, not just us, but when I say our, I mean all of us that are in the chat that are sitting here with these new up and coming channels that are going to blossom into great viewing opportunities for a lot of people. So,
and on top of that, I think that's as good of a setup as any. This is a little out of order in what we normally do, but Jason and I used to give our subscriber updates on how we're going to get to 1,000, but we've taken this little window and we want to highlight other channels who are getting close to that 1,000 subscriber mark and help maybe push them over the ledge. So the channel I wanted to highlight this week was Little Man Cave on the Prairie. He has like a little geo tracker, 4x4, some other 4x4s, but he's probably picked up a few subscribers because I think I wrote this down on Monday, but he was at 973 on Monday. Jason, who you got for that 1,000 sub club alert?
Well, I've been having a little bit of a brain fart the last couple of days. Things have been super busy at work, and I've just been trying to get some of my updates done. I'm going to stick with Uzo Lou Garage, and you guys all know who he is, and he's in the chat here tonight. And Steve has been slowly climbing up that 1,000 subscriber ladder. He's now, or at least when I checked earlier, he was at 935. So if you haven't done so yet, Steve, Uzo Lou Garage is in the chat tonight. Go check him out. Make sure you subscribe to his channel because we want to see him get to 1,000 really, really quick. And it's anybody who's close. If you're in the chat, make sure you throw up your subscriber number if you're in that 900 range, and make sure that we all know, and so that we can head over there and make sure that we subscribe to you. So if you haven't done so yet, Uzo Lou Garage, and those guys are generally, of course, Little Man Cave on the Prairie is not kind of part of our little group here, but we're hoping that at some point we can get him here to be a part of the live stream.
Absolutely. Yes. And so with that being said, because another value we feel like we add to this thing is Jason and I always try to take a moment to talk about channel struggles, growth hacks, just little tips and tricks as we're weathering, the small creator storm or journey, whatever you want to say. And so, Jason, I'm just kind of curious, what is your little what was your tip for the week?
I guess mine is something that I've been doing a little bit more of lately, and that is live streaming. And part of the goal of getting to that 1,000 subscriber mark to get your channels monetized is also the 4,000 watch hours. So on Tuesday night, I had no intention up until about 10 minutes before I went live that I'm going to be out here puttering away at this car trying to get these header gaskets on there. Why not go live? Why not try and earn some watch time hours? And look, I was live for 47 minutes and gained, I think when I figured out the math at the end of the day, I gained about 10 watch hours just from that 45-minute stream. So guys, if you're trying to gain some of those watch hours and you haven't quite hit it there yet, try some live streaming. I'm going to be doing it a little bit more over the next few weeks just because I'm going to be losing this venue right here that we're on tonight for a little while. And I want to keep up with the live feed because those live streams really help for those watch time hours. So if you're not doing it, consider doing a live stream on your channel.
Yeah, so my tip for the week, and it's something that I'm always trying to figure out, is it's basically ranking in search. This is what Sean Kinnell always talks about from Think Media TV. Ranking in search and optimizing your titles and things for basically showing up in a YouTube or a Google search. And while I still don't think I have a clear way of helping you guys out there, one of the little tips he shared on his last live stream was when you start doing your research for, I know what my video is about. Okay, now how do I go about titling it? So you always want to kind of start to look at the other, what's already out there. But if you found a channel like that was bigger than yours that you really appreciated, said, hey, I want to be like theirs, and you were kind of trying to like mimic like the way they titled something or whatever, when you go to their channel, I didn't know this until I saw them do it. You click their videos, it brings up all the videos this content creator ever made. And you can filter by most popular. And so it's a nice little trick to be like, okay, let's think like Cletus McFarland, big time automotive YouTuber. Okay, let's study his top 5 or 10 videos and how is he titling those. Go to his videos, sort by most popular, and all of a sudden, very quickly, you can be like, oh, okay, maybe you can learn some little tips and tricks after the people you study in that quick little way. And Jason is muted still.
I muted my thing because I had to cough. Sometimes these tips and tricks that we're sharing with you guys is also news to each other, because I did not know about that filter of being able to sort the most popular. So that's a pretty neat idea, and I'm going to make sure I take advantage of that to see what some of these videos are that are making people popular on YouTube. So I guess as we move right along, we are going to, I guess we're running ahead of time, guys. If you have any questions for us, don't be afraid to drop them in the chat, because we're here for you guys as well to answer any of your questions. And Caper, I'm not on the bong. Seasonal allergies, for Pete's sake. Holy cow. Just because pot's legal in Canada doesn't mean we're all smoking it. Come on.
Yeah, well, Fortune Autotech, excuse me, while Jason's fighting the allergies, I am fighting the burps over here with the beer. But Fortune Autotech asked if, he says, do you guys use vidIQ? And Jason and I are both TubeBuddy users, which they're very similar. They do a lot of the same things, although I do think vidIQ, because that's what Sean Kennel uses, he very quickly can like tell how many views a video is getting per hour or per minute or something. Anyway, I think it's got maybe some nicer features, but at the same time, I pay for like the very low level TubeBuddy, so maybe the high level TubeBuddy does the same kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, and yes, I use TubeBuddy too, and of course I've got the app on my phone, so it gives me gives me some heads up. And just as we're kind of talking around here, we see some new people jumping in the chat that we didn't recognize, and I think we all know Junk from Work has been here for a little bit. Steve Fast, Hammerdown Motorsports, is joined us. MHF Tractor says hello from Eastern Kentucky. Welcome to the group. And as we scroll up, I think I saw another name in there. Panther Platform is here. And I think we got everybody. Arch Cricket's been in the chat for a little while. So yeah, Will R has just jumped in here from Seattle. So guys, any questions for us? We can answer those. And SNR Motoring says, have you guys had any luck promoting videos in YouTube? And if you're asking about have we paid for promotions, I have, looking to get some views built up. You got to be careful what you pay for, because in some cases, like I did, they were lots of views came in, but they were paid views. So you were getting that 30 seconds or 45 seconds, and you got the view, and that was it, and no real action came of that. So for me, it was just whatever the cost of it was for that 1 week that I did it. Just kind of was really money out the window. Yeah, it boosted a few views, but it wasn't. It was like dead views, I guess, if you want to call that.
Yeah, and I promoted a similar, tried it once as well, and I got, I took a video, I think, from right around 150 to, what was it? I mean, I think, man, I don't remember. I think I got 800 views in 2 days on it or something. But what's interesting about it is you can select like a location where you want to promote it. And so I was promoting my Dear David Freiberger video because I thought that was a great idea and that was going to take off, and it never did. So I actually picked Bakersville, California as my hotspot, thinking, that's kind of in that area of where they film all the time, and gave it a shot. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it was worth it or not, but it did. It was before I hit 1,000 subscribers. I think I did pick up some subscribers out of it. Probably not that many, like 4 or 5 or something, but it was worth it for me at the time as I was trying to pick up watch time and subscribers. Would I do it again? I don't think so.
Well, yeah, and I don't either. And I think what it really boils down to at the end of the day is, hey, Gary's in the house. I just saw Gary's name flash up there, Mr. Mach 1. The biggest thing with YouTube is the algorithm works around you and your content and what you put into it and how you promote yourself through your videos. I don't believe that there's really any easy way to grow your channel. On that rare occasion that you've got something that is big and goes viral, kudos to you, because that's what's going to get you noticed, is something that is different. Steve said it himself, something that is different and interesting is what you've got to have. So we all have our YouTube channels. We're all car content. We're not all doing the same thing. So everybody has their own little thing that makes your channel separate. You really got to focus on that. You got to upload on a regular basis. You got to be consistent. Your editing skills have got to be, a little bit tailored. And if you just happen to catch that one video that everybody likes, then you're golden. It doesn't happen to all of us.
Yeah, SNR I was just about to type in the chat. They were suggesting to promote their Crazy Drunk Neighbor episode, which, by the way, that was fantastic. That was. I feel for you guys. We've all been there before when it's funny for a bit and then it's like, okay, just go away, dude. But we've all been there, I think. But yeah, keep the questions coming in, guys. In the meantime, Jason and I, we always like to do a little channel shout out each episode. And so again, with my EcoBoost obsession right now, or theme, or whatever you want to say, of course, I've been watching a ton of those videos right now, trying to learn more about my new ride. And Watch My Eco is kind of the at least one of the bigger ones that I know of at the time, at the moment. He has a car that he's pushed well into the 11 seconds quarter mile time, and he's done it. I think he did that on the stock turbo. He did blow up his motor eventually from all of his pushing, but that's my channel shout out for the week. He's doing some pretty impressive stuff, and his channel's pretty young. He has like 3,700 subscribers, but he's, I think, just barely over a year old, maybe a year and a half, and so you can. It's a typical thing for that even Jason and I have experienced when you watch some of your first videos compared to the ones you're doing right now. Tremendous growth out of this guy's channel. His intro trailer is fantastically shot. So anyway, Watch My Eco.
Yeah, and one of the guys that I want to highlight is somebody who has absolutely awesome editing skills. His transitions, his music, his B-roll is really, really good stuff. He's been in here into the chat in the past. MattMPG, I'm sure you guys all know who he is. A very, very underrated channel as far as I'm concerned. I think he's sitting somewhere around 200 and something subscribers. His link, as well as Watch My Eco, is in the comments down below as Grant's and my shout out. So if you guys haven't subscribed to them, those two channels, go over and check those out, and you won't be disappointed with either one of them. And make sure that when you get over there, you tell them that the CarrGuy SixFan show sent you to see their channels, because, like I said, you're not going to be disappointed with what they have to offer. Matt can do some great B-roll. Yes, he can. I lack in that department. I try and do some. I got to work away at it, and that's one of my struggles. We talk about YouTube struggles. That is one of mine, is to work in a little bit more of that stuff. So,
yeah, self-admittedly mine as well. And then the times I do try it, I realize, like, because I don't have like a stabilized lens and I don't have a gimbal, it's like a lot of things that I think are gonna be cool. It's just like it's not there because I don't have that quite have that gear. And it's not that gear always makes the thing, but in that department, certainly, it goes a long ways in helping you turn out high quality footage. In fact, the episode when I went to the last swap meet, when I met up with Scott Speed Shop, I was trying to experiment with shooting in 60 frames per second so I could do better looking slow-mo. And I didn't figure it out. I don't know if I didn't have my editing software set up right, but it didn't turn out any better or worse than what I previously had done. So anyway, it's a struggle.
Yeah, and Rust Belt Mechanic asks if we can get any hints or clips on bubbles, and as it sits right now, it's just sitting out back of the shop waiting. It has no clue what's in store for it. And so yeah, I will be posting some on Instagram. So if you guys aren't following me on Instagram, head on over there right now, Old Car Auto Guy, and I will be posting some of those pictures, some hints, and stuff like that about bubbles. If you haven't watched Saturday's upload from last Saturday, May the 4th, then go watch that. That lays out everything that we're doing to bubbles, and you're not going to want to miss it. So I do have a tentative schedule planned for that for not this weekend because it's Mother's Day weekend, and not next weekend because it is the long weekend here in Canada. So probably the last weekend in May. We've got a piece of land. I've got 2 or 3 guys who are going to help volunteer on a camera. We've got all the safety equipment involved. We've got a trailer. We've got winches. We got all kinds of stuff to make this happen, and it's going to be a blast. Literally, I guarantee you that.
Yeah, and for my understanding, at least, something will definitely make the hair on the back of your neck stand.
Yeah, and Steve says Hammer Down Motorsports says he needs a chunk of bubbles to hang in his shop. So that is something that I am going to be able to offer, because once we do what we do, bubbles is just likely going to sit out back and rot. So I think at the end of the day, we are going to maybe sell off some of those as to help try and promote the channel again. Not talking big prices, but if you wanted something shipped to you, pay for the shipping and we'll get it to you. Or if you're close by and you want to drive here and take a souvenir, then we'll make sure that we get some souvenirs out to you guys as well.
Yeah, that's a really good idea, handing out souvenirs like that. It almost would be as cool. You should also send a chunk of your beard out.
What's wrong with my beard? I'm not cutting my beard. Who cut your hair anyway?
What, you got a problem with my hair because I can't cover it up with a Mountie hat or something?
I think you got your hair cut at the Trump School of Barbering, if you ask me.
Yeah, I don't know about that. It says the guy who changes his oil with maple syrup.
Oh, maple syrup. You want to bring maple syrup into it, do you?
Yeah.
I could flood the whole state of Kansas with like 2 inches of maple syrup.
Oh yeah, you think so? You really think so? I don't understand what the deal is with you Canadians anyway. Like, are you trying to be Walmart versions of Brits or Frenchies?
Look, don't hate, okay? Don't hate. You got something against Frenchies? You don't even know what poutine is.
Oh yeah, like
Holy
we as
cow!
Americans.
How can you?
Okay, you guys probably already know what's going on. We're butchering this.
Oh, we even tried to prepare for friggin' this up. We couldn't even do it.
We tried, and we struggled out of the gates.
I'm sorry, guys. Oh shoot! Can you send me something to use about Labatt Blue joke? No, I can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So since we butchered this one, guys, our attempt was to try to end this in a breakup to make you guys wonder if we were ever getting back together. But as you could tell, we just totally fell on our face out of the gate.
And that's why we're on YouTube and not Hollywood, right? Are you with me?
Am I right? Am I right? And now that we're doing a live stream, we can't edit it.
Hey, Jay Young is in the house. Yeah, but the other thing too, though, is if you all go back to my my live update on April Fools, where I convinced pretty well everybody who was watching that I fired myself, that one deserves an Emmy.
So we just as well go through some of our other ones at this point. So Jason was going to take a shot at the fact that all of our money is green. And so I was going to say, does that mean all the loonies and toonies up in Canada can't read? Is that why you need to have them color-coded?
Oh yeah, see that was pretty good, and I would have lost my place because somebody jumped around on the thing here.
Oh yeah, just because I can creatively think and not have to go linear.
Yes, so I think it's time that we bring this to a conclusion. So Grant, do you want to end with your little rant of good American goodness?
Well, I would be more than happy to, Jason, because I'm not some sort of obese, sugar-obsessed, greedy, politically uninformed yokel. Instead, I'm a Second Amendment-bearing, heartland of American-born son of a wheat farmer, a college football crazing, barbecue smoking, tornado dodging, countryside cruising, 4x4 owning, gas burning, old glory waving, liberty loving, bona fide, Midwestern, Kansan, American, named Grant Tommy.
Well, you know what? I'm really sorry to hear that. But I did want to let you know that I am not a lumberjack, a fur trader, or a Mountie. I say A instead of huh. I wear a toque, not a fur hat. Snowboarding is not our national sport. I don't own a pet beaver. We don't live in igloos. I don't shovel snow every day. I wear sneakers, not snowshoes. My second car is a Chrysler, not dog sleds. Canada is the second largest landmass in the world and the first in hockey. Yes, our money is colored and it's plastic. We invented poutine. We have a queen, not a joker. I don't know Bob from Toronto. And yes, some days I have to run the heater in the morning and the AC in the afternoon. I can proudly wear my Canadian flag on my backpack, and it is Z, not Z, Z. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jason Carr. This is Old Car Auto Guy. Thanks for watching.